Hi Year 8, I hope you're all well, and welcome to what would be the final assembly of this half term. I think you'll notice it's slightly different in the fact that I'm wearing this probably strange hat and doing it outside, and that's fundamentally what the assembly is going to be about. Well, not wearing strange hats, but being outside certainly. I think we've spent enough time sat in front of a computer inside to really then do any more when it's in the half term holiday. So I'm not going to comment on reflection, that was last week's assembly, nor am I going to comment on perhaps attendance or anything else that goes with it. I think we've done a cracking job this half term and you need to pat yourself on the back for it. But what I do want to do is I want to spend a bit of time thinking about what you might do next week. My advice? Get yourself outside in the garden, in the woods, wherever it might be. So as you can see, I'm outside and donning my hat. And what I want to talk about is the next challenges, or 5 of them, from every day next week. Now, with part of these challenges, try and do something a bit different, okay? Now, I'm going to go through those challenges in a moment. But as you can see, whether the weather is nice, like it is today, fortunately, for me to do the recording of this assembly, or whether it's not, I think it's important that you do get yourself some fresh air. Good for your mental health, right, and well-being, and I try to do it as much as possible, hence the reason why I've crept down to the bottom of the garden to do that today. So these challenges then, well, you can pause this video at this point, you could possibly screenshot it and tick them off as you go through them next week. But here's things to think about. So, challenge number 1, okay, try and make a pine cone bird feeder. It's absolutely brilliant, and they're certainly in need of it this time of year anyway. Number 2, gather some resources, perhaps make a bit of a collage or a piece of art out of stones and twigs. Right, there's so many people out there and you'll get to see some of these examples perhaps this week. If you do a bit of research, that is. Midweek, a midweek mile. Don those trainers and get yourself out. Get yourself running around the block perhaps. Go get yourself out to the woods down the road or Vickers Water or wherever it might be. Task number 3. Having set your bird feeder out on the Monday, perhaps there's an opportunity for you to take 5 photos of 5 different birds, ideally on the bird feeder you've put out. And finally, end the week. A little bit of maths though, unfortunately, but try and work out how many days it is that you are old. And take a step outside for every day that you are old. For me, well, I'm not going to divulge that information right now, but have a think about it, try and work that one out, and get yourself outside a bit more as well. Now, the point and purpose behind this is about challenging yourself to do something a little bit more different, a bit different than just sitting in front of a computer, really. Now, towards the end of this, when we get back to school, the likelihood is, from that letter that Mr. Aldridge sent out, that we're going to be stuck in front of a computer again for a couple more weeks before we go back to actually school again. So make the most of being outside and getting in the garden and getting in the fresh air and having a look around and what we talked about earlier about engaging with your environment. Until I speak with you in about a week's time, have a great week, enjoy the outside, and I'll see you in a week or two's time.